Shalom and welcome. This is Man's Final Steps. Man's Final Steps. A continuing series to those who would be among the ranks of the 144,000 and multitude that will come out of the Great Tribulation. My brothers and sisters, my name is Symmanayah, and today is January 16, 2014. Why would believers reject righteousness? It's a question that I ask as I echo the title to this segment, which is Challenges of the Obedient. Challenges of the Obedient. And I ask the question again, why would believers reject righteousness? What are the characteristics of the obedient? Could it be those who are void of discerning and understanding that pose the most difficult affliction to the Spirit of Yahusha's chosen? Could it be these who create the biggest challenges among or for the obedient? Do you think the masses, the majority of people, tend to dismiss the obedient of Yahusha because their ears are dull and vision is blocked? Challenges of the obedient will be to make aware that many hurdles and challenges are before those who walk in the Spirit of Yahusha. It's to highlight their challenges, the challenges that they face each day. This segment is designed for us to give pause and not to be quick to judge one another. It is to encourage increased discernment to avoid being a false witness to one of Yahusha's chosen. It would be wise for us to earnestly seek to discern those who are being used by the Spirit of Yahusha, lest we find ourselves among the ranks of the children of disobedience. The challenges of the obedient is also to make aware what possibly goes through the mind of the obedient while they journey to improve their service to Yahusha, our Mashiach, our Messiah. Be mindful, all while we witness the challenges of the obedient, the refining process will continue, and end time schedules are and will be fulfilled. Let's take a look at a few scriptures that reflect some challenges of the obedient. I encourage you to read the entire chapter of Genesis 22, but I want to just highlight two verses that are a part of that 22nd chapter of Genesis. And those two verses are the 13th and the 14th verse of Genesis 22. And it reads as follows. And Abraham lifted up his eyes and looked, and he saw behind him a ram caught in a bush by its horns. And Abraham went and took the ram and offered it up for a burnt offering instead of his son. Instead of his son. Instead of his son. Yes, I repeated that part. 14th verse reading, Abraham called the name of the place Yahuwah-Yireh, as it is said to this day, on the mountain Yahuwah provides. Read the entire story of this and you will see it is a time when Abraham was tasked to demonstrate his obedience to the Most High Father. It is commonly referred to a story where there was a ram in the bush. Moving on, Amos 7th chapter, verses 12 through 17 reads, And Amaziah said to Amos, Go, you seer, flee to the land of Yehudah, and eat bread and prophesy there. But do not prophesy any more by Bethel, for it is the sovereign set-apart place, and it is the house of the rain. And Amos answered and said to Amaziah, I'm not a prophet, nor am I a son of a prophet. For I am a herdsman and a grower of sycamore figs. But Yahuwah took me from behind the flock, and Yahuwah said to me, Go prophesy to my people, Yasharal. And now hear the word of Yahuwah. You are saying, Do not prophesy against Yasharal, and do not drop words against the house of Yisek. Therefore thus saith Yahuwah, Your wife shall become a whore in the city, and your sons and daughters fall by the sword, and your land be divided by a measuring line, and you die in a defiled land, and Yasharal shall certainly be exiled from its land. You see, here is an example where Amos was obedient to the Almighty Father, but yet the believers, the leaders, those who would say they would be representing the majority, sought to chase Amos away, sought to reject Amos, one who was just being obedient. Matthew 16:21 reads, "From that time Yahuwah began to show to his taught ones that it was necessary for him to go to Jerusalem and to suffer much from the elders and chief priests, scribes, and be killed, and to be raised again the third day." Out of obedience, he sacrificed himself for us. Obedience. Why? Because the scriptures foretold of what must and would come to be. Matthew 24:9 said, "Then they shall deliver you up to affliction and kill you, and you shall be hated by all nations for my name's sake." You see, my brothers and sisters, not all will be gathered to a safe place. There will be martyrs among the ranks of the believers, among the ranks of the multitude. Yes, I speak of the multitude going to a safe place as well as the 144,000. But let us not be remiss in knowing that there will be martyrs that will fulfill this scripture. Acts 7th chapter verses 52 through 55 reads, actually 52 through 60. And they read as follows: "Which of the prophets did your fathers not persecute? And they killed those who before announced the coming of the righteous one, of whom you now have become the betrayers and murderers, who received the Torah as it was ordained by messengers, but did not watch over it. And hearing this, they were cut to the hearts and gnashed the teeth at him. But he, being filled with the set-apart spirit, looked steadily into heaven, and saw the esteem of Elohim and Yahusha standing at the right hand of Elohim. And he said, Look, I see the heavens opened, and the son of Adam standing at the right hand of Elohim. And crying out with a loud voice, they stopped their ears, and they rushed upon him with one mind, and threw him out of the city, and they stoned him. And the witnesses laid down their garments at the feet of a young man named Shaul. And they were stoning Stephen as he was calling and saying, Master Yahusha, receive my spirit. And kneeling down, he cried out with a loud voice, Master, do not hold this sin against them. And having said this, he fell asleep. You see, this describes what happened to a martyr, one who stood firm, one who represented the reign of Yahusha. My brothers and sisters, I pray these verses stir your spirit some, if not a little, and cause you to give thought when faced with interacting with the obedient of the Spirit of Yahusha. Challenges of the obedient, yes, something that has been around for centuries, a phenomenon caused by the rebellious, caused by the actions of a wicked one. These behaviors and characteristics have plagued the obedient of the Almighty Father Yahuwah continually. It was the religious or perceived body of believers who rejected the children of the Almighty Father Yahuwah first. Believe it or not, the obedient are tasked to be contributors of building the reign of the Most High Father Yahuwah through our Mashiach, our Messiah Yahusha. My brothers and sisters, challenges of the obedient often stem from their ability to discern and understand quicker than most. Those who struggle to grasp the Spirit of Yahusha using his chosen all too often dismiss the obedient. They send them away or just plain establish a false witness against them. There have been many instances when the obedient of Yahusha became and will become discouraged, doubtful, hesitant, and more, because there are brothers and sisters who fail to confirm what they witnessed from them, who fail to confirm the Spirit of Yahusha working in them. So yet, even in despair, the Spirit of Yahusha cuts through and delivers, demonstrates strength and power of righteousness through him, through them, through his chosen, through his people. These end times and the days ahead, we will see people who will continually make every attempt to dismiss those who are used by the Spirit of Yahusha. But the Almighty Father, the Spirit of Yahusha, will prove what is right, what is righteous. These are indeed man's final steps. The 144,000 in multitude are being refined, and they will come to know their true identity and purpose. The 144,000 in multitude will demonstrate the ranks of true worshipers of the Almighty Father. They will demonstrate how to successfully deal with, cope with, and overcome the challenges of the obedient. They, through their actions, will lift up Yahushua Mashiach, and we will watch and witness the Spirit of Yahusha draw many to himself through our worship and through our obedience. The time is at hand and will intensify, where we will come to realize how true discernment and understanding is good for the building up of the body of one. We will come to realize the challenges of the obedient will lessen. Yes, their brothers and sisters will begin to become sharper, stronger, endowed with more discernment and understanding, and mature, coming away from challenging those who are indeed obedient to the Spirit of Yahusha. You see, it would be wise for us to take pause every now and then and realize that the wicked one desires us to be divided. So he makes every attempt for us to enlarge the challenges of the obedient. But let us move away from such influence. Let us embrace the righteousness of the Spirit of Yahusha. Let us be contributors to help lessen and reduce the struggles our brothers and sisters have experienced because of their obedience. Yes, my brothers and sisters, individuals who have dealt with challenges just because they were obedient. Let us move towards listening more attentively and responding righteously to those who are in the ranks of the obedient. Remember, if we are not contributing to the building up of the body of one, if we are not encouraging brothers and sisters, one another, to press closer in worship in obedience to the Most High, if we are not contributing to the lifting up of Yahusha in our worship and obedience, then we are factors that add to the challenges of the obedient. Whether we admit it or not, if we cause distraction from the Most High, we are then contributors and participating in wicked and evil actions. I submit to you, my brothers and sisters, many believers have contributed to the tears, yes, tears and heartache, as well as to the many challenges of the obedient. Many believers, many who are unaware, have caused the pain of most obedient. Many are unaware that they cause this pain. Many are unaware, but it does not excuse nor make their actions exempt. The day will come when this treatment of the obedient will end. Be encouraged. Soon, and very soon, the 144,000 in multitude will emerge. They will become visible, and with the fervency of the righteousness endowed by the Spirit of Yahusha. Challenges of the obedient will take on a new face, and we will be gathered to a safe place. Remember, my brothers and sisters, this plan belongs to the Most High Father Yahuwah. I cannot stress that enough. I cannot emphasize that enough. It is the Father who has established what will come to be. Pray and watch. Establish a ready mind, for soon our day-to-day routines will change drastically. We will see and participate in challenges of the obedient. We ourselves will realize how we are challenged just because of our obedience to the Spirit of Yahusha. Let us press forward, and let us continue to be encouraged and know that He will guide. He will provide living instructions, guidance. He will provide reproof, discipline, and judgment. And when necessary, we will see occasionally the hand of the Almighty Father make clear through His wrath by removing obstacles out of the way of His chosen. Pray and watch, my brothers and sisters. Until next time, continue to believe all promises from the Most High Father will be kept. His scriptures will be made alive. and we will come to see end time prophecies fulfilled. Until next time, continue to stay tuned as this series, Man's Final Steps, continues. Shalom, shalom, shalom.